This is a 1966 Galaxie 500. It has 71,500 original miles on it, and I have a ton of documentation on it. It was a special order by an elderly lady, and they did not make a triple black car. From the history that I understand, they did not make a triple black car in 1966. You usually had a white headliner, or a black car with a white top, or you had a black outside but it was red interior or whatever. And so that's what she wanted, so she went down to the dealership and special ordered this car, and she got it all black and fully loaded, just like she wanted it. And I've got all the documentation on that. She had the car upgraded, so now it's a Z code 390. Automatic, cruise-o-matic transmission, shifts perfect. I mean, this car drives so good. I have a 17-year-old daughter, and when I bought this car, I actually bought this one and another one at the same time from two different owners. And we only had one trailer, so I let my 17-year-old daughter drive this vehicle home, and from about 2.5 hours away, and it runs awesome. She said, "Dad, this is one of the best cars old cars I've ever driven that we've had." So you can hear the engine sounds perfect. It doesn't have a super aggressive exhaust on it. It's just got kind of a, not much more than I would say a standard exhaust on it, or maybe a little bit. It does have a little bit of a growl to it, but it's not super loud. Going down the road, it just purrs super smooth. Nice quiet under the hood. Maybe an indication of a very minor donut gasket. In fact, it's possible it could just be need to be tightened up a little bit. But boy, it's so quiet. Turn the car off here. Super clean. I haven't found one single spot of rust on the entire car. The guy that I got it from said he thought it was the original paint. I think it's possible it was repainted, but it would have been done maybe back in the 70s. So I think that the paint on it's pretty old. All the doors open and close perfect. The windows roll up and down perfect. All the glass, this appears to be original. It still has a FOMO Co symbols on it. The paint on the car is its biggest flaw. And this is what everybody would call kind of like a 20-footer or a 15-footer, when basically where you say from 15 feet away the car looks great, but when you get right up on it, you're going to see imperfections. And that's really how the car is. I mean, I think that the paint on it is very old, but I think that the paint on it's very old, but it was always kept in a garage and driven by an old lady. So you're going to see imperfections all the way around the car here and there a little bit, but overall, like I said, the car's a sharp driver. I mean, walking around it even right now, I'm less than 10 feet away from the car, and the car looks really good. So I guess, as I was saying earlier, maybe you call it a 10-footer. But if you get right up on it, really, if you want this car to look perfect, you'd want to put a paint job on it. Even just doing some touch-ups probably wouldn't be sufficient. The front of it's pretty raw, and you'll notice as I get up on it, you can see right across the front. I mean, look at how shiny the paint is. It's still awesome. You can still see my reflection. It's super shiny, but it just looks like old bugs and road rash and stuff like that all the way across the front. Just that front lip right there. A little spot of touch-up paint there. The body lines are really straight on it. I think repainting it would just mostly involve truly scuffing it down and shooting it. Very minimal body work. I don't see any major dents on it or anything like that. There's a couple of little tiny dimples here and there. But I mean, almost so minor that you can't even catch, you're not going to catch them on a video camera. I will say this one whole piece of the quarter right here, the paint is starting to crack on it. You can't see it. You can see it more actually if you take the car and put it like up on a lift and get it up high. Well, because you're facing it straight on, you can really see the imperfections and the crackly paint. And what it is just, it's just old paint. It's got minor cracklies in it. And like I said, okay, there we go. I'm actually catching it right there in the video. But you can't even see that. That was me with the camera probably 3 inches away from there and going into macro. So, so just want to be honest about that. So we get the bad part out of the way first. That is literally like the only bad thing about the car, because the rest of the car looks awesome. I mean, the vinyl top still looks brand new. I don't know if it's ever been replaced or if it's the original and just in awesome condition. Like I said, this is basically a one owner, old lady driven car. The original interior is impeccable. I mean, this car is beautiful on the inside. It's got seat belts in the front. I mean, the seats look like they've hardly been sat in. Super clean. Steering wheel still looks like new. Dash pad looks like new, almost. It's got one little cut right there, but you don't even notice that. I'm sticking the camera way up on it so you can see it. You don't see it when you get in the car. So the dash looks awesome. Headliner is in an excellent condition. Rear tray is in excellent condition. The entire interior on the car is in excellent condition. There's just a touch of wear on this plastic, which is not unusual. You can see right there. It's the only spot where you see wear, and that's where, you know, you see people putting their hands down in there to pull the car door closed. And that's normal for over time for that to happen. So yeah, rockers look good. All the paint, all the door jambs look awesome. Original placement of the VIN tag, including the original placement of the body tag underneath on the firewall. This is one of the cleanest trunks I've ever seen, with the original, retaining the original spare tire jack holder and everything. Inside the trunk, dealer installed padding, and in fact it's kind of glued in, but we pulled it up just a little to take a look, just to show. I mean, not a drop of rain in here. I washed this car this morning. It's not wet. The seal, even though this seal is original on the car, it's still 100% weatherproofed. Not a speck of rust, not even surface rust. And this is original, like it came from the dealership. Of course, there is this little blanket in here. She kept a little blanket in here so when she put her groceries in there, they wouldn't slide around or whatever. That appears to be, that's just yellowed and discolored, and appears to be the original sticker that went inside for showing how the jack instructions work. Make sure I've got the key in my pocket. Okay. Like I said, the hood opens and closes great. Trunk opens and closes great. The chrome on the bumpers looks, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7.5. A couple of tiny, you know, little spots on the edge. But, I mean, unless you get 2 feet up on it, you see no imperfections on the chrome. The trim around the car overall is in good shape. There's a couple of pieces of trim that have a couple little dimples on them. Underneath this car is gorgeous. Zero rust. It does have Flowmaster exhaust. Looks like the original pipes going back to new exhaust, and then new exhaust from there back. That's not unusual for people to do. The car would sound more aggressive if you went with new pipes all the way up to the engine, but it's not necessary. I haven't seen any leaks. Like I said, the engine runs perfect. This is one of the cars that you don't even have to tap the gas. I mean, literally, if you just touch the key, it barely touch the key, it fires right up. It runs so good. Super clean trunk pan. Your original tank there is in excellent condition. Unbelievable floor pans. Excellent condition. And you can see that that's original. Those haven't been undercoated and all that. They're not, nobody's covering anything up here. 9-inch rear end in the back. The only thing that's not original on the car is the wheels, and that has a brand new set of American Torque Thrust Ds with brand new tires on them. Looks really sharp. Unfortunately, the people who own, the guy who got this vehicle from the elderly lady when she passed away, he wanted to put some nicer wheels on it before he resold it. And technically, it's not a one owner, but it basically is. The only person who's driven this car is the lady who bought it originally. She passed away. The car went to this guy, and he sold it to me, basically. So he said basically he didn't drive it, but he wanted to put some nicer looking wheels on it. The wheels look awesome. In fact, in a lot of ways, probably nicer than the original little 14s. But I think I do have a set of original wheels that can go on it. I'm not sure that I have 1966 hubcaps, but they could be ordered. But personally, I like this look. It looks really sharp. So there you have it. Triple black, 1966 Ford Galaxie 390, automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning. The air conditioner does need to be serviced, but everything just seems to be in working order. All the hoses look like they're in great shape. I mean, this is a survivor kind of a car, and it is in extremely nice. Like I said, aside from the paint flaws that I've showed you, this car is in really, really nice condition.